Hi, welcome back. We are going to do a lesson today on how to hide your strings in your tatted work. I have two examples, one for when you first begin, how to hide your thread in your beginning work, and again when your shuttle runs out of thread, and it will, how to hide the knot and the extra ends into your work so it doesn't show. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, I have two different examples on how to hide your string. First example is when you're first beginning, you will want to do a square knot. Right over left, and then left over right. Okay, that way the ends that you want to hide are flush with the string. Okay, I'm going to first start with the loop. Now the idea of hiding your string is always keeping this bottom string along this thread right here, okay? So when you go under and over and straighten, the string's not going to go with, so you put a hook in or use your fingers and get that end to go through that loop so it stays flush with the bottom line. Okay, and then pull up. Simple enough. Then you go over and under and pull tight. Again, you'll want to take the end and make it so it's flush with the bottom and slip it up. Okay. Again, under, over, pull tight, take the end and put it through the loop so it is flush with the bottom thread, and pull up. Over and under, pull tight. Okay. Then pull the thread through the loop so that it is flush and pull up. You don't have to hide it for very long, maybe 2 to 3 double stitches. Just hide it underneath 2 or 3 of the double stitches, and then you can just leave it off and just work on the rest of the normal ring. So we'll just finish a small ring here, just for the example. So, under, over, flick, over, under, flick, under, over, flick, over, under, flick, under, over, flick, over, under, flick. Okay, then you always pinch your work when you close those rings so that this end won't get all tangled up. Pull, and you have your ring. And you have that extra thread coming out. And now you can take that extra thread and just cut it all the way down. And you have no sign of your ends or a knot on that part. So, how you hide the end of strings with a chain is you then flip it. We're going to use the chain to hide the other string. Okay, and it is the same idea. Okay, so now you have this string, but instead of going down here, you want this string to stay up here. Or do you? Give me a second. Nope, you want it to stay along the bottom. So, loop, pull it through so that it is along the bottom and slide that up. Okay. I hope you saw that. Okay, so it's flush with the bottom, and slip it up. Under, over, pull through the loop, hold it and flick it up. Over and under, through that loop, hold it straight, work up. Okay, that is how you hide that one. And again, you only have to put it under 2 to 3 double stitches, and then you can go on with work as usual. Okay, just do a couple more. Under, over, flick, over, under, flick. Okay, that way your extra is coming out the bottom here. Take your scissors and just cut it off. That way, when you're starting a project, you have all your ends are hidden. Okay. Now, let's say you're working on a project. Okay, you're working on a project here. Let's say one of your shuttles run out of string. I'm just gonna cut it. Tink. Okay, one of your shuttles ran out of string. So, what do? Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna tie these two, wind your string, your shuttle back up, and fill it full of thread, and then you're gonna have to do a square knot again, right over left, okay? Okay, and make sure it's close as you can to the very base. Left over right, right over left. Okay, anyway. Okay. Now you have your square knot, and you have all these threads hanging out. In this case, you're going to have to hide the threads at the same time. Whenever you run out of string, try and always end at a loop. It's just easier to tie on the strings, and it looks a lot better. Anyway, so in this case, I did the ring, and the next thing I'm working on is a chain. So make sure my chain thread is at the top. Okay. And I work as if I'm just going to continue on. Okay, now I have my extra 2 threads. And again, I'll want them to keep them flush with the bottom one. Okay. So, right over left. Sorry, not right over left. My first part of my double stitch. I'll take both of them. Okay, and the knot, when it's as thick as it is, I always count that as a double stitch, just for the measurement and the look of the pattern. Anyway, so there's the first half. Then these are a little long. Let me see if, okay. So that's what it should look like. Here's your extra threads. You want to take both of the threads, put them in here. Okay, and it makes it look a little thick, so I generally will do 2 double stitches. Sometimes it's just easier to do with your fingers. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's half of my second one. And there you go. And just so I don't have a major cutoff, I'll take one of the extra strings and either leave it out or you can just cut it off. I'm just going to cut it off. Okay. And then I'm going to do 2 more double stitches. And to hide this next one. So I have a total of 4 double stitches to hide these 2 strings. There. So it's flush, and I flip it up. Okay. And then I'll cut off this one. And then I'll continue with my work. Okay. So that is how you finish, that's how you add another thread. And I mean, you can't see where it started. It just looks like a continuation. It doesn't look like you added a thread and there's no knot poking out. So that is how you hide your threads, or how you add another thread when one of your shuttles have run out. And I hope you understand what we did there. It's actually a very simple process, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned how to hide your threads. Okay, till next time.